Hello, hello, and welcome everybody. JB here with JB's RCs. Appreciate you stopping by. Got a fantastic little upgrade video for you today on the Redcat Ascent 18. Hanging out over at Redcat Ascent Preserve, doing a little test run on a new servo I put in here. We got the Reefs 99 brass micro servo in here. Big upgrade from the stock Hexfly servo that comes with it. Made a really big difference, even though it's still running off the stock ESC transmitter, or I'm sorry, ESC receiver combo. Definitely added some weight up in the front, which I needed. Definitely looks a lot better. You'll see it a few times in the video. Nice little shiny brass up underneath there. Easy to mount. Everything worked out pretty well. I already had the brass horn and brass steering links on there, so with all the other little upgrades and weight I added, it was time for an upgrade on the servo to give it a little more gusto. And it definitely has a lot more power than that stock one, and is just a little bit faster as well than the stock servo. The one problem that I did have with it is the stock servo bumps in the chassis, on the chassis rails, so you got a little less flex out of the front than you were actually supposed to. So I had trimmed the little tabs on the sides where it bolts in, just down a little bit, so it would fold up inside of the chassis when it flexed. And of course, with this being made of brass, you can't trim those little tabs down, so it's still smacking on the chassis a little bit. So I'm getting a little less flex out of the front than I had with the stock one. Other than that, all better. Other upgrades on this, like I said, I got the brass steering horn on the servo. I got the brass steering links up in the front. I have hot racing metal links for the 4-link suspension front and rear. I have brass portal covers in the front. I have brass beadlock 1-inch wheels on the front. I have some DJ Crawler 1-inch tires on there. And I have the Endura metal drive shafts and the Endura shocks with the brass bottoms. Other than that, just trimmed some fenders on the truck there, and I moved the battery to the very front and the ESC to where the battery was, kind of in the middle rear, just in front of the rear axle, on the inside of the chassis there, just for a little different weight balance on it. Seems to work out pretty well. So, as you can see, great little servo. I know a lot of people are like, what? You just spent as much on that servo as you did on the entire truck. Matter of fact, the people that, the day I was out running this and people were asking about it, they were like, I can't believe you spent as much on the servo as you did on the entire truck. But I believe with the weight, it's well worth it. And Reefs is a pretty good product, pretty well known, been around for a long time, and quite reliable as well. So I'm not too worried about that. This truck is definitely dialed in quite well. Still, even though it's my first 18th scale smaller crawler here, I'm still not a fan of them. Just watching it go, it just bounces a lot still, even with all that extra weight, and it's quite heavy. I got the shocks dialed in with like a 10 weight, nice and smooth too, but it still just doesn't have quite the weight enough to pull it up over things sometimes, dig in when it needs to. I got the soft foams in there too. Those DJ Crawler tires come with 2 sets of foams, a stiffer set and a softer set. I put the softer set in there. It's still just bouncy. That's why I like my 10th scale stuff much better. So we've got a little more weight to it, a little less bouncy, and a little easier to record as well. These little ones, I have to get really close to them and stay moving with the truck quite a bit. Otherwise it gets lost behind the rocks or too far away to see because it's so tiny. But I had a lot of fun with this. I'll probably keep it for a while, especially with the upgrades and time and stuff I have into it, and modifications and stuff. So even if I tried to sell it, nobody would pay me what I have into it or what I think it's worth, probably. You're lucky to get what a stock one would cost, if not a little more maybe, for one of these. Same with anything that you're going to sell. So I'll keep this one for a little bit. And of course, way back in the day, if you guys have watched my channel for a while, I did have some other smaller scale like WPLs and WL toys. But those were just toy grade almost. Did quite a few upgrades on some, and I do have one kit still that I have from WL Toys, the B13 and B14, the cab over style military body one. I love that one, but I put so much money into that I would probably never get rid of it. But thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and smash that notification button if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much, and thanks for staying to the end of the video here. And we'll see you guys next time. Get out there and have some fun.